Today's podcast we have For the Love of the Hoof, and these are some awesome people with a great organization. And I'm going to turn it over to them so they can introduce them. We have like everybody that was in our Horse Rescue Heroes season from The Love of the Hoof. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can introduce yourselves.
I'm Wendy.
I'm Brandy.
I'm David.
And I'm Jim.
And we are For Love of the Hoof.
Yes, and I so enjoyed our season with you all, and like going out to your facility. And how is your all's, like, for those of you who don't know, you definitely need to watch their episode. There is a link in the description of this podcast video. But you all have some pretty major challenges for horse rescue, like you have to bring all your water into your facility. And I know when I was there, it's like, this is normal. I'm like, most of the horse world that won't see it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have had some big challenges, especially with weather. That's really our major challenge. We get a lot of snow, ice, and mud here, but we've basically now doing a lot better with our water challenge because there's two reasons. One, David got a job with a water hauling company here, so he gets to haul our water in. It's more expensive, but we don't have to physically go out and get the water anymore. And then we have a backup. Dr. Fisher donated us a 2,000 gallon water trailer.
Oh, wow. Dr.
Yeah.
Fisher is such an amazing person.
Yeah, he is.
He is so amazing. So that's so awesome. Well, it's great to hear you guys are doing great. So I thought it might be interesting to jump back just a little bit to how you all got involved with the Full Circle Life Horse Shelter. Like, you submitted a grant, kind of like, what was your all's journey in the Full Circle Life Horse Shelter network?
Well, I found Horse Plus on the internet when I was searching around. We were new, our organization was new, and I was searching around for someone to be able to help me get a grant so that we could go ahead and rescue horses from the slaughter pipeline. And you guys popped up, and so I just started applying, and it just took off from there.
You all submitted a grant for the Full Circle Life Horse Shelter Network, and then we ended up coming to your facility. So what was that like, having us come? And we also had a big announcement for you at the end of our visit as well.
Yeah, that was great. We really enjoyed your guys' visits. We we were a little nervous, but we organized everything really well, and it took off great. And you guys were awesome. You guys taught us a lot while you were there, even, and it was amazing. And it was just great to be able to know that you guys chose us to come and get mentored. We were so excited about that. We couldn't wait.
And I feel like when we told you all that you were coming to boot camp, it was emotional watching, and
Yeah,
I was so excited. So kind of, what did you think was going to happen during that time? Like, obviously we were going to tell you all something, but I mean, what was kind of going through your heads at that moment?
A lot.
We were nervous. We're like, did we do it right? Is everything okay? I mean, but we just wanted to make sure that you guys could see us as a potential organization that would join your Full Circle of Life. And we wanted to make sure that everything was going right. And we were a little nervous. We're like, oh, but when you told us, we couldn't have been more happier. And we were so excited that we all got it come, and we were all invited. It wasn't just, Jim and myself. It was the whole family, and even our grandkids. We came as a group, and it was just fantastic.
That's awesome. So one thing that we learned while we were at your organization is that you all rehab and rehome horse trailers to help fund your organization.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that going?
Well,
doing that,
I think because of the economy, that hasn't really panned out anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we haven't been doing horse trailers because I think it's just the economy, unfortunately. So David is working, and Jim is working, and Brandy's working, and I run the organization, so it's been
Okay.
going,
But
that's
at
just
one
been
point
happening.
that was able to help fund your organization. And
Right,
yeah, so that was a really wonderful start to help
right.
get the feed or whatnot. So that's really awesome. Well, you guys do an amazing job fixing
Thank you.
trailers. So if somebody was watching this and was like, man, I want my old horse trailer remodeled, do they still do it on the side?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll still do it.
Okay.
yeah,
The
So
find the clientele is the
yes,
problem.
yes.
yeah.
Yes, well, if somebody's watching this and you have a horse trailer that you want a good facelift on, these guys
Yes.
here are the ones to do it. So, coming to boot camp was quite the adventure because like you said, you brought the whole family and grandkids and everything. What did you all think of boot camp?
Oh, we loved it.
I loved it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Even though Brandy this house there. Brandy took some big spills there, but she took one for the team.
My
Yeah.
oldest son, David, he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it a lot too, helping out your organization while he was there. So it was a good experience for him and us as well.
Nice.
And we learned a lot. I thought, I personally learned a lot in the classroom. So that helped me quite a lot, be able to take that knowledge and go back. And it was a good start for us. And it's a beginning. It's not all, you don't teach everything you can't, right? So we learned from other rescues and by taking classes and stuff like that. And it's really helped our social media to be able to know what we have to do and just basically everything else.
So what was one of like if you were to say a number one takeaway from what you learned with all the mentoring, what was that or a couple of them?
Well, I'd have to say the classroom for me, and what was for you?
For me, it's overall working with other rescues, everybody working together.
Yeah. And that is something that is rare and unique within the horse rescue world is everyone being able to work together. And sometimes it doesn't align. And that's sad because ultimately the stronger we all work together, the more horses we can help. And talking about horses that we can help, you all are just out there pounding the streets at so many different auctions, rescuing so many different horses. I see your post and I'm just like, wow, they're on fire out there.
Thanks. Yeah, we try.
We've got our boots on the ground and we are warrior strong.
Yeah, we are. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So
We've got a bigger trailer now.
Yeah, we got a bigger trailer now, so
very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
we can haul 9 at a time now. And and we make some months we make 2-3 trips. Let's see, our biggest month was what, 25?
25,
Yeah. And then this month was the lowest, which was 9. So yeah. But normally we rescue anywhere between 17 and 25 a month.
Wow. So what is it like for you going to these auctions, rescuing horses? Because I know Arizona is one of the states that horses are exported into Mexico. So it is a
Yes.
And Canada.
Yes, in Canada. But you are kind of like right there directed into Mexico. So what are you seeing at these auctions that you're going to?
Oh, it's bad. It pulls on our heartstrings all the time, because basically here at our auctions, you get ones that the kill buyers are really going to want, right? And they're there on the front lines with us, and we're bidding against them, and we're bidding against the horse traders too, and it can be quite devastating for us, but we just keep plugging along.
Yeah, I even got threatened by a horse trader.
Yeah, we did.
So
while we were doing a live stream
Wow.
of the auction.
At the rest.
Yeah.
So what happened?
And he came up to me and he thought we were bidding on this pony that it's the second time being at the auction. It had a club foot, and we're like, well, we can find it a pet home, find it for a home. It can be a pet. And it was written in, and it went between a gentleman next to us and a lady in the office. It went up to like $1,300, but he came up to me and he goes, "So if you're a rescue, I got a question. Why'd you go up so high on that pony?" And I said, "I didn't go up high on that pony. You just mind your business." And then he went off and he started mouthing off. And then he asked me if I was packing. I said, "Am I packing? Like, am I packing a gun?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "No, I'm not packing a gun. Are you threatening to shoot me?" And then I said, "We can go outside and talk about this." And then, yeah.
Wow.
Rescuing is
We went
hard.
to the auction. The auction handled it very well.
Yeah.
And he's still there. He just minds his business and leaves me alone, and we do our thing. But I never see him buy a horse ever.
I think our presence definitely ruffles some feathers out
Yeah.
there when we go to the sale.
Oh, yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
people's emotions seem to get out of control sometimes when we're there.
Yeah, we get slammed online before we go every time.
After.
We get ridiculed every time
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
It's like amazing.
It really boggles my mind with the amount of hatred that gets thrown at horse rescuers. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much negativity and hate on the internet, and you'll see people bashing organizations that are out there doing something, and they're sitting on the couch all day analyzing. They have so much time. They're not being very productive out there. They have so much time. They're just sitting, scrutinizing and trying to be so negative, and then just throw organizations and try to pick them apart. It's just like, what are you doing? Are you out
Yeah,
there?
Right. What are they doing to help? Right. They don't even donate or
Yeah.
share like a
Mhm.
comment or nothing. And you know what really upsets me about the whole thing is that if they would put their energy towards helping rescues instead of trying to put them down, the world would be a better place. But
We all have the same common goal to rescue horses.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this gentleman brings his whole family, and they're not even there to do anything, but on any horses or anything at all like that ever. So it's just strange. They just go there just to make their presence known and make us feel uncomfortable. That's it.
But there is a good side of this, though. We have a lot of people that come there just to watch us rescue
Cheer us
horses.
on.
Yeah, we've had people come up to us before the auction and after the auction and say that they're so glad that we're there. We've had people donate right
Donate,
there,
yeah, right
right
there at
there
the
when we're in
auction, yeah.
line to pay for the horses. They're right there to give us donations. We've had adopters that actually adopted from us, lots of them,
Quite a
that
few.
actually go to the auction and see what we get, because when we bring them back, not only do we get them their vet care, shots, worming teeth, equine chiropractic feet, and evaluated. And that evaluation is really important, because every time when you get horses from auction, you don't really get what you're expecting, right? Just like ask poor Brandy here, what happened to her, right? So that's why it's really important for us to bring them back and evaluate them, and people at the auction will see that, and then they say, well, we're gonna wait to see what you have, and then they adopt from us. So that's a really good way.
So speaking about what happened to Brandy, like what happened to you? Like I know, like I was on Facebook and all of a sudden I see pictures of you on the ground and I'm like, so yeah, what happened?
Well, when we were at the auction, we rescued a horse. Little kid was riding it around in there. They kind of pretty much advertised it as a kid's horse. Brought it back, evaluated. Needless to say, it's no kid's horse. It went into bucking and bucking like crazy. I stayed on as long as I could, but I couldn't hang on. I went flying off. I ended up having 3 fractures in my back, 4 broken ribs, and my collarbone was completely cracked. So I had to get surgery for my collarbone to put a plate in it. Now I have a plate in it. And yeah.
And your back's never gonna be the same.
Yeah, and unfortunately I can't ride for a while. It's gonna be a while. So I'm not able to evaluate the horses anymore. So it's kind of really that part has I don't want to cry. That part has taken a toll on me, but it's okay. We are warrior strong, and I know Sierra is evaluating them, and they are getting evaluated, because that is so important for these horses to get evaluated, so it shows exactly what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's never and we have to make this clear. It's not the auction house's fault that these horses are misrepresented. They have nothing to do with it. And it's not the auction's fault that the horses are in bad shape. They have nothing to do with it. It
Yeah.
all starts and begins with the owner. And if the owners would do what is right with these horses, then there would be a lot less horses in the slaughter pipeline.
And a lot of
It's all
it
about
too is
educating
that
the people.
the laws within the United States from state to state very different, like pretty drastically on horse laws, and law enforcement really doesn't have a lot of strong laws to look at and be like, oh, this horse is in this condition, that's animal cruelty. And that is very I think very challenging for rescues across the United States. Is we see horrible things at auctions, but we also see law enforcement telling owners, hey, your horse is in bad condition, you need to get rid of it. And they're like, what should I do? And they're like, well, there's an auction you can take it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be stopped.
One of the challenges that you all are running into at these auctions is the brand inspection, and like you're concerned about stolen horses.
In Arizona, unfortunately, we don't have as many livestock inspectors as we used to back in the day, and they say it's because of funding and everything like that. So there's not, the livestock inspectors really got their hands full with all the cattle ranchers, with all the brandings and that kind of stuff, that I think the horses aren't getting the
Inspection that they need to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
End of the stick.
the stick.
Because horses are considered livestock here in Arizona, but the livestock inspector are not inspecting horses.
Yes.
They're more worried about the cattle, and that's where horses just fall into this gray area. When I was at the Navajo Nation, I know one of the ladies there, she wanted her horse that came into the welfare clinic to get microchipped. Because there was a horse that went from the Navajo Nation, it was stolen, and it was taken to auction, and they actually scanned it at the auction. I was so impressed by her story.
Yeah.
And they were able to get their horse back. And I was like, wow. And that's just the power of microchipping. But so what you're seeing at these auctions is potentially stolen horses with fresh brands on them. I think Wendy mentioned they were bleeding. You saw horses they were bleeding all over the place. And because horses fall into this gray zone where livestock and brand inspectors are more worried about the cattle, and their focus is on that there's a lot of crime going on with stolen horses and smearing brands and rebranding them to try to say that they're theirs.
Well, in the state of Arizona, you're not allowed to sell anything that's branded with while the brand's still peeling. So that means when it's curing. So when my mom's seen it curing, is you'll see some blood and scabbing there, and it started peeling off, until the brand is there. So what they did was they took it over an original brand and they smeared that all out. So you couldn't tell what that brand was, and they put a new brand on there. They both were peeling the exact same time. They're both curing the exact same way. So they're both done at the exact same time.
They look like that, yeah.
So it was legal for them.
No, it's not legal.
Oh.
It's not legal because
it's illegal.
it's illegal in the state of Arizona to sell anything that with the brand is peeling, but not with horses anymore. Not with horses.
Yeah, because if it was a cow, it would be
if it was a cow, it'd be a different story. You couldn't do that at all.
Yeah,
But
and
since it's a horse, they don't care anymore.
Right.
that's where
They
like
don't have enough livestock laws, livestock inspectors in Arizona, because they say if you ask them about it, there's only 4 for Arizona, and they have to imagine how many cows and cattle auctions that are out there that they have to attend.
All livestock auctions they go through.
They don't have enough resources to be at every single one.
That ended prior to COVID.
Yes.
Right around
Yep.
COVID time is whenever it ended and never recovered from.
Yeah, never came back.
interesting.
And I know that you mentioned microchips, and I have, I've talked to like 6 different vets and all 4 auction houses that are here in Arizona, and no one checks for microchips. Nope.
No.
They say they won't. They said it's a waste of time. They won't do it. Strictly a couple of reasons. One, they're considered livestock, so they don't check for microchips. And two, there's several different readers for different kinds of brands of microchips, so they wouldn't be able to get all those readers, and they just don't check for microchips, unfortunately.
And I don't think that's just an Arizona thing, that's all over. So like when I heard this
Yeah.
Navajo Nation, I was just like shocked. I'm like, you were able to get, like, they got the horse back because it had a microchip and it went through an auction, which is shocking.
Yeah.
But
That is shocking.
I do think, you know, especially in areas where horses are being stolen and things, like if they're not going to have brand inspectors there, they should at least have a universal microchip scanner, and they're not that expensive. And there are the universal microchip scanners, they get all the chips. And just to be scanning these horses, because if they're stolen, auctions are allowing stolen property to be sold through their auctions, and that's not good.
You know, owner surrenders, a lot of them want to go ahead and owner surrender, you know, a 30-year-old horse that's, you know, on really should be given the last act of kindness. And so we try to educate them to say, you know, you don't want to put them in an auction, and you don't want to have a rescue taken, because chances are they're going to get so stressed out that they're not going to survive. So we try to educate these owners about how to give the last act of kindness and
To do what's right.
And sometimes we've actually gone ahead and given a person a grant to do that. And that's because it's really important to know that you just don't want to put your horse in the slaughter pipeline. And you just don't want to go ahead and give it to a rescue where it might not, might stress out and might not have then the rescue has to go ahead and give it the last act of kindness. So we try to educate our owner surrenders on that matter.
Education is so important and so critical. And I think if you take like dog and cat ownership, you know, the horse or horses get old and people are like, let's give them away. Let somebody else can, the kids are grown up, they don't want the horse anymore, or, whatever the reason is. And they give it away thinking, oh, it's going to have a good home. It's a horse. Everybody wants it. Well, ultimately, it's the kill buyers and the horse traders who want that horse, and that horse will end up in the slaughter pipeline. But with the dog, responsible ownership, usually, I would say a large majority of dog and cat owners, when their animal starts having quality of life issues or get older, they keep that animal and they work with their veterinarian on when is that right time for end of life services. Horses, it's like a blind eye. Horse owners don't want to face it. And I feel like there is a shift. I've seen a lot of really great articles by different horse magazines that are talking about, being there for your horse in those last days. I mean, because ultimately they are the very best person for that horse. I always like, how can you expect somebody else to take on your horse that has arthritis and needs, these supplements and all these different things, when you're the most invested person for this animal and you don't want to take care of that animal? How do you expect somebody else to fill the shoes better than you who have years connected with this animal? And that's why so many horses fall through the cracks. So it's great to hear you're working with horse owners and educating them to make the right decision and be there for their horse. And I totally get there's some folks that can't be there. Like emotionally, it's too hard, or they don't have the resources, for burial or something. And, horses coming into rescues, like we accept horses for euthanasia requests. I mean, we're open admission shelter. I mean, people do bring dogs and cats to us for euthanasia request. But that's basically like taking them to a vet clinic and being like, I need euthanasia for my suffering animal. So, bringing them into organizations can be a good thing, but the most ideal situation is that horse to stay in a home where it's comfortable and happy and there's no stress, because animals live in the moment. And, their happiest moments are in their home.
Yeah, they don't understand the future. They don't think of tomorrow. They think of that moment. Exactly.
And they only know that one person.
You are their world. They give you their world, you know.
Mhm.
And if someone has a horse for 30 years, it's very tough for a horse to leave that situation it's been in for 30 years and come to a rescue and, and be put into a pen and cared for, properly, but still on them, it's a stressful situation because they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't know what happened. They're used to a daily routine all the time.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So what are some of the other programs that are going on at your facility? It sounds like your intake process has changed from
Yes. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
Okay, so we have a dentist now. It's remember Cutter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Cutter and his sister Mac, they went to school and got their license as an equine dentist.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're available every Tuesday after the auction. They have a set schedule. They're here to do all the horses' teeth. And by getting together with them, they introduced us to a really good vet, Dr. Carter, with Legacy Veterinarian, and she is
Amazing.
amazing. She works with our rescue so nicely. I mean, I
She's
can't.
passionate, but
Yeah, very
Yeah.
passionate
Yeah, it's
person.
hard to find someone as passionate as we are for the
Yeah, and she completely understands about rescue horses and everything, and I couldn't be more blessed to have her on board. So she's here. At the same time, the dentist comes, plus she's on call anytime we need her. She's come out several times. We had a little pony named Miles that had to have not only be gelded, but had to have his eye extracted. And she came out like 5 times afterwards on because he got really sick from it. But she was here on all the time.
She's like almost like at beck and call. We have any questions, concerns, we could just call her right up anytime, day or night. So it's really nice to have that at her
Yeah,
fingertips.
she lives in Flagstaff, which is about an hour and a half from us, but she's willing to make that drive. And then I think you guys probably don't know Sierra and Ty, but Sierra and Ty have been in the horse world all their lives. And Sierra is a licensed equine chiropractor and farrier. So she takes care of all the farrier feet and equine chiropractic work. And now since Brandy's unable to ride at the moment, she and Ty evaluate all the horses. So we got a pretty well
oiled machine.
and then so Brandy, though she's been doing something different, which is really great, and it's great to know. She's learning all the social media stuff. So she's helping me out with that. Learning to do the social media and stuff like that. And David has been helping me a lot with Facebook a lot. And then of course Jim takes care of all the stuff around here that needs to be taken care of. And cleaning up the horses because I'm a little busy on everything else. But
yeah, that's a big job right there, cleaning up the horses.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you get 40 horses at a time here. But yeah, it's quite a challenge, but we do it really well. We've got a really good team going on right now.
That is so awesome. And when you mentioned Cutter, that I was realizing like, oh yes, when I was in the Navajo Nation, last year, Cutter and his sister were there doing equine dentistry and learning that. So I got to see them again. And it was great. They were doing such a great job at the dental station at the Navajo Nation. If anyone would like to watch that episode where we go to the Navajo Nation, there's a link in the description of this video where you can watch it. But yeah, no, it's really awesome seeing people get more educated on how to help horses. And the Navajo trips are just so awesome for that. But yeah, no, they were there and they were working hard the whole time, and it was awesome to see them again. So it didn't put together in my mind until now, like he was your farrier when we were there. And now he's continued his education and now he's your equine dentist as well. So that's really neat.
Yeah, he's still doing feet, but it's hard for him to come out for farrier work for us.
Yeah.
And Sarah only lives 10 miles from me, so it's easier for her. And Dr. Fisher was our dentist and still is somewhat, but Dr. Fisher isn't well and he's basically semi-retired. So he suggested that we go ahead and try Cutter Mac out, and that's how it all started like that. So we ended up getting a great team going.
That is so
Yeah,
awesome.
now we got a squeeze to handle
Yep.
wild ones when they come in.
Oh yeah,
So
Okay.
now we can
yeah,
work on them safely. So
yeah. We have a whole new wild and unhandled horse setup now. It's great. It's all done by heavy duty Mustang panels and a
Okay.
professional shoot that actually gets them in there so that we can. And the vet loved it last time because we had not this last intake, but the intake before we rescued how many unhandled horses? Six.
Yeah.
And one of them had a really deep cut lastration in his leg, and he had to be gelded.
Ah,
That was fun.
Yeah.
But we put it all on our live about that, and it was, unhandled horses can be quite dangerous, but we had all the setup to be able to do it, and it worked out really good.
It was so smoothly. Went in there, gave him the stuff he needed. We slowly laid him down. They gelded him. He had a spot to recover in, and then out back into his pen.
He's doing great now, and one of our unhandled horses that we got actually just had a baby yesterday. So,
aw,
so yeah.
that's so awesome. So when you came to our facility, you saw like we have shoots and stuff. Was that kind of some of your
Yeah.
inspiration for?
Yeah, so I took a picture, actually took a picture of your shoot off of one of your lives, and I sent it over to Seven Peaks Fencing, and I said, I need something made like this. And he goes, okay. And so they custom made it for us. They usually don't do it, but they custom made it for us. And then we ended up doing some adding to it and a little bit of other stuff that needed to be done. It was, but yeah, it was a big inspiration for us because I was like, I need something like that.
Yeah.
So when we're talking with different organizations and mentoring them, I'm always encouraging them to get a safe handling area for unhandled horses.
Yes.
So when we first went to your facility, you didn't have that.
Right.
You do. What are the benefits? Like if you were mentoring another organization, you're like, this is a really important piece of equipment to have at your facility. Like since you've now had both, and now that you have a really nice setup, like obviously we spoke about the one horse benefit, but what are some other benefits that you see from now having that at your facility?
well, if you like your kneecaps or you like the safety of the horse and then not getting stressed out or injured, or you enjoy not getting kicked, I suggest you get a squeeze. It's the safest way to handle untouched horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then also the Mustang panels. So what I mean by Mustang panels is these are heavy duty 6-foot Mustang panels. How thick are the posts?
I was pretty sure that it's a Schedule 40 pipe on that, so they're not gonna bend them or do anything.
Yeah, so unhandled wild horses will go right through normal panels you would get like from Tractor Supply or something, right? So they'll bend them in half like an accordion, and they can jump over them. So we have these heavy duty, really tall panels, and believe me, these wild horses will try to jump out of them.
Yes.
We've had them try to jump out of those chutes to the top, put their hands, their legs over the top and try to get out, even when we're standing there in the chute. So if you're going to have unhandled wild horses, please do yourself a favor and get yourself set up first before trying to take on any of these horses. Because like where we live surrounded by state land, hundreds and thousands of acres of state land, right? So if one of those horses were to get out, we would never see them again. They would be gone for good. And so if you have an organization inside of a residential area and one of those horses get out, that could be a disaster, or can get hit by cars or hurt other neighbors or something like that, or hurt and kill themselves. So you really, really need to get a good setup before you take on any unhandled horses, for sure.
Yeah, very, very wise words of wisdom right there.
Yeah.
And like we encourage, organizations to be that open admission, accepting any horse, but you can have a very wild horse come into your facility with that. And so being prepared, and a chute setup is a necessity. If any organization's really going to be out there handling horses and helping in a significant way, you're going to encounter horses that need a safe chute working system. So
Right.
thrilled that y'all have one. So
Thanks.
how's your adoption program going?
Oh, great. We've been very blessed. Let's just put it that way. We've been very blessed. Let's see. I think last month was the first time that we haven't adopted out all our horses, and that's because we had some horrific weather come in, and it put us behind like 2 weeks. But normally, we adopt out every horse that we rescue, except for maybe one a month. We have to give the last act of kindness to. But otherwise, we've had a great adoption
Yeah, this
program.
year we've had put a few down already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think
And
pretty
when-
much last year's total numbers that we put
Yeah.
down, we put down already this year.
And it all comes down to the animals that you're rescuing, and
Right.
Yeah.
horses regardless of their condition. And I think
Right.
the program of educating horse owners, to be there for their horse in the end is probably one of the reasons that you're able to have those lower numbers as well, because when people are reaching out to you, you're giving them options and you're educating them, and education is such an important, crucial part of horse rescue. So
Yeah, and I'm, when we do our adoptions, I just don't let anybody adopt a horse that,
mhm.
I'm like saying, okay, what kind of knowledge do you have? I mean, I get a lot of people say I'm a beginner and I want this horse, and I go, oh, no. That horse is not for you. And
Not
we
that
do
one.
really extensive evaluation videos, really extensive, even down to what kind of bit to use, how to ride the horse and everything. And it helps everybody to be able to know what kind of horse it will fit for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know, like, when we were there filming and featuring your organization, there was an adoption. It was just so fun. That little girl was just so adorable. And
Yeah.
I think one thing that I really took away from being there and watching your adoption process is the connection you make with people.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's the long-lasting connection. And
That's
Yeah, that horse actually passed away on them due to old age.
Aw.
That was Frosty,
Mhm.
but she got another horse from us, and they
Mhm.
love her to death.
Yeah.
And what was the name of that horse?
Praline.
Yeah,
Freely.
Aw, yeah. I just think that connection that you have with people is very special. And I think anyone that
Thank
goes
you.
to your facility with all of you, is, I think you bring them in and treat them as family. Like,
Thank
they're
you.
adopting a horse, but you're also adopting them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we hear from our doctors all the time, and we have repeat doctors. Some of our doctors have 3 or 4 of our horses, actually, and they're all part of our family. We talk to them all the time. We send them Christmas cards. We get Christmas cards, get tons of updates. And sometimes they just call to talk to me and say, hey, how are you doing? So it's great. We have a great relationship with all our adopters, I think.
yeah.
That is so
We're
awesome.
lucky.
So for people that are like, okay, I've never heard of Love of the Hoof before, this sounds like a great organization. Obviously, you need to go watch the episodes that they're in, and follow their journey there. But how can they follow your social media pages? Like, how can they find you?
Okay, so we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Or you can just Google For the Love of the Hoof and we'll pop up. And we have our website, and on our website, we have all our links, and our Facebook page and Instagram page on our website runs continuously. So if you're not a member of Facebook or Instagram, you can just click on it on our website and you'll be able to see it all the time as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, definitely head over, check out Love of the Hoof. I know, from the time they first started receiving grants from our organization and joined the Full Circle Life Horse Shelter Network, they have hit the ground just running. Like, there's no stopping them. And y'all do such fantastic work. And I think it's just amazing what you do there. And I hope folks will take the time to follow your social media platforms and see the fantastic work you're doing. And I just wanted to thank you all of you all. I didn't think I was thought I was just going to talk to Wendy. I just want to thank all y'all for, taking the time to do this podcast and all the time that you spend with the horses. It's people like you that are really making a difference out there and saving horses out of the slaughter pipeline. And you all do a great work. I'm just like, watch your videos. I'm like, wow, look what they're doing now. It's so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And we really want to thank you guys, because if it wasn't for you being able to give us the start, we probably wouldn't be where we are. Yeah, we wouldn't be here. So
Wouldn't be here.
it was all because you guys took a chance on us and said, yeah, sure, I'll give you a grant. Let's see what you can do about going and rescuing those horses. And that really gave me the start. Yeah, that was like
fire.
the little, okay, I can do this, and it's been a great journey. We really appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And again, thank you for taking the time to do this podcast with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.